childhood was interesting. It was humbling, you know what I mean? Or you can make a floral arrangement. I'm like, okay, I can make a wreath. You know, because during all that time when I was a stay-at-home mom, there's nothing to do. So in the daytime, you go walk up and down or you do whatever the case is and so on. And it's like, one girl dog, that's cool. But here's the thing though. I came back again. And when I came back again, we stayed at a house, right? And I started to watch the local shows, you know, the same local shows that everybody says. I don't watch local TV. Them show them. And I was hooked. Oh, like hooked.
Amazing culture, right?
Yes. Hill and Gully Ride and the whole thing. Amazing. And I'm like, oh my God. So now the fever. I'm in the fever now. I'm in the fever. And yeah, so I started to research now because I can't stay down for too long. You know, I just can't. And I must always be moving ahead. So even if I take a break, there's always going to be a time. I always have to have a notebook. And I write and I journal and so on. And then after a while now, it's like this, the caterpillar becomes, you know, the butterfly. And Health, Home and Garden was having
an expo.
And I said, you know what? Let me see, you know, a feasibility thing. Let me see if we can go join the expo here and see what is going on and see what happens. So I did it and I got 2 jobs from it, right? And one of them was to color a space, just to give a color, you know. I'm like, fine, I can do that. And the other one was a reno. And I failed miserably. Why? I didn't understand the culture. I was bringing my American culture into Jamaica, which was the wrongest thing that you can do. And that's why Napoleon would lose the war. I never know so the place was going cold. You understand what I'm saying?
Napoleon's ego was bigger than him.
And him, you know what I'm saying? And him just feels sad, you know? So I stepped into ego and I stepped into New York and into this, you know, bringing that here into Jamaica, not understanding the workforce, not understanding the time of year, not understanding anything that goes on, and thinking that me with my little hot New York self can make things happen. No, because there's something, let me tell you something about people here. If they see that you have a lot of confidence, they mistake it for arrogance, and then they badman you. They will sabotage you in a second. Yeah.
Or feel like they have to take it on a notch. Even if it's not sabotage, it's like,
no man,
like
you have to go down.
Yeah.
You have to go down.
So there was a challenge with just your confidence and being yourself assured, rightly so. You've done the work in New York to get where you are. You have your experience, you have your documentation, your degree. But you're also a brown woman with an accent now, coming from New York and
with
telling
pretty
people.
clothes. Exactly. Yeah.
Yikes.
And I remember,
and you're fairly young still.
And I'm fairly young, and I'm now telling workmen what to do. And as I don't know if you know about the Jamaican culture, that's a big no-no, because them don't want no instruction from you. You know what I'm saying? Them want it from the boss. And you can't be the boss because you're a woman. You know what I mean? So that job failed. Okay, but I learned. And I learned. I didn't come back full time yet, you know. I was still coming and going. So I went back to New York, right? All right. Fast forward now, went back to New York. I came back because there was this thing called The Anchor. No, and that was a reality show that was on CVM, right? And I'm like, okay, I can make a fool of myself. And that was
so
the
CVM,
heyday.
for context, is one of the 2 nationally broadcast, the main 2 nationally broadcast channels.
Right, and local TV,
yeah.
Right? Okay. And so at that time, I'm like, nobody don't really know me in Jamaica right now, so I can make a fool of myself. It's fine. I'm not going to shame. Because at that point it was the reality TVs were hot, and I don't, if you remember, part of the whole reality TV thing was when them shame you. The more them shame you is the more ratings they get.
TV.
Exactly, and I said it was like at the expense of all the contestants, you know. So I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess nobody don't know me, so them shame me now, and it really matter. So I remember No, it's the anchor that means that if you win, you will have a spot of reading news. All right, but that was not my intention. My intention was just to be seen. My intention was to rebrand myself here in Jamaica. Come move, yes or no, you know. So I'm saying I am doing the anchor, and somebody must see me. You're right. So I am going to dress in my clothes, in a suit every single day, every day. As a matter of fact, a contestant always asked. She asked me, why every time you come you have on a suit? I said, because I'm not dressing for this. I am dressing for who is going to see me out there, the next position that I'm going to get, right? Anyway, I was voted off, right? I came fourth, right? And I was like, wow, give the fact that I come forth, not bad at all, and unknown and whatever. And as a matter of fact, you know, you see the week that they voted me off, had I stayed that week, I would have probably won because I was just getting into my action. I would have, yeah. Anyway, so I walked the walk of shame, and that was that. No, Tamara, the girl who won, had the contract now to read news on CVM. And one day, you know, you exchange numbers. So one day she called me and she says, Karen, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. And she says to me, listen, there is on Sunrise, which is the morning show now on CVM, a little vacancy because they invited a guest and the guest can't come and it's a no-show. So I thought of you because I know you're a designer and decorator, so you can come and do it. She said, you can come? I said, yes, when you want me, whatever. And that one episode, that one segment was like a recurring thing. You know, it just ballooned. So that's where I started. After that, no, my business started. I started Karen Booker Design Group first. And that was more of interior design and decorating and so on. In a time when, I remember when I went to some paint companies, you know, you're buying paint and stuff, and it was the days of gray and taupe and those colors, and they used to say to me, where you got them dead color there? And I'm like, those are the colors that are in rich people's house.
But you forget that you're in Jamaica where we love green and...
Me change that.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, listen, you can't go in your house and say hot pink. And then no, the next wall is blue. And then the next wall yellow. I understand all of that. We're a festive people, but we have to kind of change the color story a little bit.
It's the fact that people are doing that to this day. All right, but we're listening. We're listening to you on a campaign, on a righteous campaign in Jamaica.
I'm doing God's work. I'm calming us down. Go. All right, fine. So the message now was, listen, if you want a jumping off point in your home, right, calm down the thing with all these myriad of colors. Do some neutral colors and then bring up now the colors in maybe a wall or two, or bring it up in your accent pillows and your rugs and all of these things. So I went on a campaign now that enters TBJ, Design Diva, Smile Jamaica. And we just, yeah, I guess them kind of did listen to me and them did kind of like me.
So regularly, what's your regular spot?
Regular, so it became a Tuesday morning, like 2 seasons for the year. Tuesday morning, you know, Design Diva would come on and things. And I'm like, I remember people come up to me and like, yeah, when I was a little girl, I used to watch you. And I'm like, like my old. And my mother likes you. And I'm like, yeah. But anyway, you know, and Design Diva was really now supposed to be the marketing of Karen Booker Design Group, you know? So Design Diva would be talking about all things light and beautiful and all things bright and beautiful, things right? And then be the mouth for Karen Booker Design Group, which is serious business, right? So we would talk, every week would be a different topic on interior decorating, not design necessarily, but decorating, right? And it was at a time when nobody was really being the forefront or the voice of interior design and decorating. So I can say, and Novia McDonald White says all the time, that the Booker girl, she started that. The accent from me. Karen Booker. So That went on for a while. Still does, because we just came off season. You know, our next season will be in a couple months for Mother's Day. But that now opened up whole heap of other doors now for opening up Design Diva, the stores, one on the waterfront and the other one 96 Hope Road, and our factory. We do manufacturing, and we do, you know, all those, everything now that is involved in interior design, right? Including I do decor courses called Decor Boss, right? We've done a sitcom once, where, not a sitcom, just one episode for Mother's Day thing, where we'd go in and just transform somebody's house, you know, and that's something that we are looking forward to doing more of deserving people, and then just beg everything, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the people who are really deserving, but they just live in a house where just need to fix. Yeah, we're here for you.
Should do all the single moms.
All the single moms, yeah, actually, yes.
Because they want their house to look nice, but they don't have time. It's going into the kids.
It's going into the kids, and
rightly so.
And rightly so. But there are people who they work so hard.
There's no time either. Even if they didn't have the means, there's no time to sit down and ponder, oh, I wonder if I want to do a blue highlight wall or a butter yellow highlight wall.
You know, they think about it, but it's like they just don't have the time.
Or the energy
and the means to say, you know what, it's true, let me just do that.
Yeah.
Let me just do it, and so on. So we're here for you. I'll put my cape on, and we're here for you. We're here for you. We're here for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so where we are as a company right now, very, very good. We've worked for everybody. Mm-hmm. Thank God. God has really blessed us. COVID happened, and we're still here, you know, and it's not food, it's not, you know, it's not food, it's not clothing, it's not shelter, it is all, you know, disposable income, and of course discretionary, because you can definitely choose, you know, and we're still here, you know. So we want now, of course, to grow in terms of the content creation now. What I do realize over a period of time now, we have a lot of decorators in Jamaica now calling themselves designers. And they are...
So wait, clarify, what's the difference?
Okay, a designer comes really well trained. You know, go to school and we have a thing and we can't say yeah and whatnot. But apart from that...
That's shade.
No, it's not shade.
It's not. It's true.
It's not shade.
But you're not shading anybody.
I'm not shading nobody.
All right.
A designer can work with an architect, read the blueprints, say you can move this wall here, put the electric in, move electric, do plumbing work, and so on, as a consultant, right? Architect, then the interior designer, right? A decorator is usually very intuitive, okay? Them born with it. Them just born with a creative thing, and them good. They're very good. As a matter of fact, if a designer does not hone her decorating skills, a decorator can out-decorate the designer any day of the week. Why? Because they practice. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas a designer is really more focused on the space. You know? So it's a matter now of having the two worlds collide, right? A designer sometimes may be very, 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 very good in technology. We can put together a 3D CAD drawing and it sings to the world. But tell them to take away that and go into one of the furniture stores and build a room from ground up. You will see that it may not come together as well if they're not focusing on the decorating piece of it. Because in their head, a designer's head, it's like decorating, it will come together. You know, in a decorator's head, it's like, this room have to sing, this room have to talk, this room have to, you understand what I'm saying? Right.
And a client is going to give you a mood. A client is going to say, I want this to be my reading place and I don't want to leave. I love my house.
Right.
You know, or my bedroom needs to be my sanctuary. That's a mood, right? It's not I need a plug right there.
Right there. A ceiling fan and so on. Right. So as a designer, designers go in the room and say, this place at the layout is wrong. You know, you need to take out that wall and make it be an open concept and do whatever the case is. And the decorator will come in and say, no, that wall should be yellow. And that should be this and that should be that. So two of them can work together.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you see, it's not shade. It is not. Now, decorators also get themselves trained. If you really, really, really want, if this is what you want to do, you can get yourself trained and so on. Thus the Decor Boss course.
Yes.
Now, what I see with, you see a lot of new buildings about the place, right? That now, yeah. Why?
These new contractors, boy, they're doing people a disservice.
Oh, yes, they are.
It is very stressful.
It's very concerning.
And when you see the price tag that's attached to it, it's not a problem, because people have done good money. But the price tag that's attached to the low quality, how can the finishings look like? Like, you can tell they were just installed, but they look like there was no care. They don't care that it's someone's home.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm saying, I'm not trying to condemn
Oh, yes, you are. You're
anyone.
throwing shade.
I am. You know what? I'm going to own it, because I think people deserve better. The
course they do.
contractors don't have a conscience for the price tag
It's
they're
not the
asking
contractors,
for.
it's the builders. It's two
All of them.
different schools. You have the builders and then you have the contractors.
Okay.
You have the builders who need a project management department in place to keep these contractors in check. You understand what I'm saying? So when it is now that they have all of these Asian people building these developments in Jamaica, and there's enough of them, and all of them are subpar, and so on, and they have nobody like checking them the way how they need to be checked. Then going to send you something, a 2-bedroom for $40 to $75 million, and when you walk into the space as you are the client now, the purchaser, and you're saying this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong, they fix two things and give you. And say, these Asian people, them just do this and them do that and whatever the case is, and them get their money and gone. But you have to understand too, that when the Asians build here in Jamaica, everything comes over, down to tin set. Everything comes over in containers. Everything. There's nothing that is really purchased here. Right? And then so I would say no, the builders would have like the contractors are Asian. The Asian people build up the thing. Some of the good builders, what they do, they say, okay, you can go on and build up and go on whatever, but I'm going to bring in the Jamaicans now to do the finishing. Some of them don't do that, right? And I'm going to bring in the Jamaicans now to do the cleaning, right? Which you will see, the Jamaicans get the cleaning, but the finishing, because the devil is in the details. It is a difference between a socket returned so and the one is straight, or the countertop with whole heap of glue marks in there and silicone and just the finish of it, which you need. So what I'm saying is, what that means?
How can you have just laid tiles and they're already hollow?
And they're right, because
and my face, folks, is like this because it grieves me. I'm not gonna lie, especially at the age that I am, where I have a young family and I look at these things, right? I've been fortunate enough to own somewhere.
Right.
Knowing how hard it is to come by this money,
yes.
and knowing what they're looking at people
yes.
asking. And mind you, you're looking for a place, you want your kids to feel comfortable, you want to, whatever it is, like.
But let's talk about that too. Because one, to your question, when you say how can your tile be hollow, right? When you're doing tiling, you're supposed to butter the tile, and put it down. Sometimes when you see these people laying tile, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the middle, down.
Like you're doing a
little project. Exactly. Bum, 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 bum. 5 and down, not a buttering thing. You understand, and you wonder, okay, I know you have your bill of quantities. A bill of quantities is all of the materials that you use in the thing based on a quantity survey by a QS, right? Okay. But sometimes what they do, the contractors, is cheat the process, water down the things. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why you get that. So there's a whole heap of substandard work in these buildings, and I'm telling you, I know of 2 and 3 that going fall down one day. May I tell you? Because we were called in to correct a lot of that. And remember when the earthquake happened the other day? And, brand new buildings and cracks in the walls. Whereas when it's brand new buildings, you're going to see some cracks because it has to settle, right? But there's a particular one that was brand new, and I'm like, it shook up the whole thing, and it was not like a magnificent earthquake. It was just, an earthquake, yeah. But the damage that was caused by that earthquake was because the building wasn't made properly in the first place. No, from the buildings that are coming up now, right? You will find that there was a time where everybody's a decorator. Everybody going into everywhere, and everybody's a decorator. So what they do now, they go on Instagram and they see a nice little room, and then they cut and paste. That's why
Pinterest.
Or Pinterest too, but Instagram is the more of the culprit. Yeah, it would be a cut and paste. Pinterest is more like a scrapbook. You do, and then you put your things together based on what you're seeing. Instagram is a full room. You understand? So therefore, what they would do is say, okay, that chair, that this and that, and them order from Amazon or wherever them ordering from, or Wayfair, and then just cut it out and put it here, and people come in and like, wow, this looks great. I did it, I'm a decorator. You want me to do? And then so it will go on and on and on. I think too, right now, there's a lot of buildings that are up with nobody in them.
My dad talks about this all the time. My dad says, they're about 300,000 units, or I think that's a lot. But
it's true. He is absolutely correct. And so the fly-by-night decorators now kind of find something else to do. They're now content creators with something else. And that's what happens when people who are not necessarily qualified to do certain things, they step into other people's lane, water down. Yes, they step into other people's lane, and in creative people too, you go and get it. They step into other people's lane, water down what it is, water down the product, water down the price, and so on. And that's why sometimes as an accredited designer and so on, I go in and say, my fee is such and such. And they will say, no, but I can't pay Susan over there half that. Why? Because you have a whole heap of people playing in the space. Now that the building has subsided a bit, and then not much people are there looking for work anymore in terms of a designer coming in and stuff. You don't see them as much, and also because it's hard work. And when they find out that really and truly it is not glamorous work, they kind of come off of the thing.
It's usually like something appears really nice, but then it's hard. And
it's a glamorous title.
It is. Even the part about how easy it is to kind of appear in this kind of world that people stage, right? So when you go on Amazon to buy something, or you go on Wayfair, they stage the thing and they'll say, oh, the rest isn't included, whatever, but it's very easy to copy that.
It's a copy.
But in that, it might not work for this room, or it might not work for...
Exactly.
It's what do you call it? What's that material that is warm? It's a shearling something. It looks gorgeous, but what are you doing with that
What
here
are you doing with that
in
here?
Jamaica?
What are you doing with boucle here? What are you doing with so in some applications, velvet is good,
right?
But yes, the shearling is like that sheep thing that's very
that
knobby
was
and
example,
so on.
right? The knobbiness, it's just
and it's here in hot Jamaica, where you and I sitting down there and sweating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the thing about it is, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get into interior design, do yourself a favor and get yourself accredited. Get yourself study. I remember people come to me and say, I have a passion for interior decorating. And I'll say to them, describe what your passion means. What have you read? What have you looked at? What YouTube videos have you watched? I can't find, and then it's the whole excuse. I can't find a book. There's nothing on YouTube. And so, but it says you don't have a passion and you have an interest. So there's a difference between passion and interest. Me, I am still learning. I have to still learn because every year things come out. I have to know what the trends are. I know exactly the smart design now. And also my newest competitor is AI. You understand what I'm saying? That's my newest competitor, because I was at Design Week the other day, and I heard the speaker came up and she was talking about the whole you can design and decorate your house using AI, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, why I should applaud this? You understand what I'm saying? It's insulting. So what that's telling you is, like, right now you don't necessarily have to go to school. You don't have to nothing. All you have to do is use AI, and you're gonna be okay. But for me, I must always be on top of the trends, the relevance, the language. Getting yourself getting yourself informed in anything that you do gives you language that you will be able to speak about it, and you will not only say, why did you use this in this application, right? You can say, well, you know, in this application where it is boho chic, you know, the emphasis is on textures, the emphasis is on the personality, the emphasis, you know what I'm saying, is on colors too, and when you walk in you feel a lively, energetic but organic experience. As opposed to, why did you use this in a boho chic? Well, because I did like it and it looked good over there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You right? I was listening to an interview the other day. It was on Smile with a designer, with a decorator rather, who calls herself a designer, but she's also going to UE and doing something else, right? And they asked her to, like, you know, dissect the room, and she says, well, I use it because I like it there, and I.
It's not. It's a service job. It's not your taste. It's what your client tells you.
When my students come into my class, the first thing I tell them is the same thing that you just said a while ago. It's not about you. This is about taking your client's ideas from here and putting it into a workable plan and stretching it up to there. You understand? That's why they hire you, because they have a pain point. You know what I'm saying? It is not about you. And if I say to you, because one of the things that we do, we take it to stores, and, you know, you do your shopping and whatever. And where would you put that chair? Oh, I would put it in my bedroom and stuff. No! You have to think about items randomly. You understand what I'm saying? In terms of, okay, I would use it in a room that I am building that would be very, very, very traditional, or very Scandinavian, or very modern, or so. You understand what I mean? So, yeah, getting yourself really, really, really okay.
Yeah.
In whatever school, in whatever it is that you want to do, is always a great idea. Because right now, as you know, they're banning TikTok, so I don't know what will happen to it.
She said that all of you get everything from TikTok and you have a brain of your own, and now that it's being banned, what are you gonna do? That's what she just said.
I just dropped the
Oh
mic.
my goodness. You know what? You didn't lie though.
What are you going to do?
Because verbatim, a lot of the young people say,
What are you going to do?
if I need to know something, I just look on TikTok.
What are you going to do?
Ooh.
What are you going to do?
So we are coming to the point where we ask everybody for some tips. So you've shared a lot of your personal history as well as your professional expertise today, and I want to ask a few questions that are supposed to help someone watching, right? So the first is, how do you as a young woman develop the resilience to face many personal and professional challenges as you're trying to, as you know where you need to go, but it's in the minutiae and the day-to-day is very hard. What's the first tip you have for somebody?
Develop a strong, and when I tell you, iron proof and clad relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. That's the first thing that you have to do. And when I tell you, you have to develop that relationship, you have to get water baptized, you have to pray, and you have to fast. You have to let the Lord lead you as to into where He wants you to be. You understand what I'm saying? The rest of it, no, you study the scripture. And because the Bible is the Bible. Whenever, you know, and it's like, you know, people say, okay, well, that is the guru, that is the Bible. You see this book here? No, this book is the Bible for that. The Bible, really and truly, is what you need for everyday tasks. Every day, develop a space before your family wakes up in the morning time, in that quiet space in the morning where it's just you and you and you and God. You understand? Before the sun comes up, before the whole activities of the day and everything. And you have to do your devotion. You use that devotion to thank the Lord for all that He's doing for you, and you thank Him in advance for the things that He has not done yet. right? Then you do your declarations. I am made in the image and the likeness of the Lord. Exactly. So, so nobody can come test you because you are made and you are queenly. For the men, you are kingly. You understand what I mean? So you make your declarations, the declarations rather. Then you set your day. You set your day. You pick one piece of scripture. It could be anxious for nothing. When everything give thanks. With prayer and supplication, you make your request be known to the Father. And the peace that surpasses all understanding will be yours. You understand? And after that, he even says, you must concentrate on everything that is good, everything that is lovely, everything that is pure, everything that is just, everything that is praiseworthy and excellent. So what I'm saying to you is right now, you give everything to me. You give thanks for the things that you never see yet. And you don't hackle up your brain with things that are negative. So that's the roadmap. And that will give you the stick-to-itiveness to know that this is something that you're just passing through. Everything has come to pass. Whatever it is, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, the Lord has ordained it to teach you something. So you have to stick with it. You understand? Because, He's going to lead us down the valley of the shadow of death, but He's going to set the table in the presence of your enemies. That was long, right? Sorry
That's
for
fun.
preaching.
It's perfect. Thank you. Give me your top 2 interior design tips.
Okay, know your space. Know your space. Know your box. Meaning we all live in a box. We all live in a square. Know your measurements. Make sure that you don't pile up your space with a whole heap of stuff that you don't need because it is trending. Know who you are. Your home is an expression of you. Your home is a love letter to yourself. Your home should rise up and greet you when you get home. So therefore, 1, know your space. Know who you are in your space. Don't let nobody come in there come tell you, no, this, that, and the third, and whatever, because for them house not look good neither. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, I said it. And no, and sometimes our frenemies come in and they want your space to look good but not as good as theirs. You understand? So you really in every area of your life, your confidence and your self-worth should go before you.
Okay,
thank
you.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Oh. I offered interior design, but interior decorating tips, top 2? Or do you want those to stand? Because I think it could apply to both, but I didn't separate them. So
it can apply to both.
Do you have anything specifically for interior design?
For interior design,
yeah,
no.
other 2 tips?
For interior design, for if it is that you want to change up your space and so on, right? Your functionality has to be number 1. Meaning, if you're living in a space that the kitchen does not function well, you have to ask yourself, why this kitchen not function well? Is it the lighting? Do you need to put an independent ceiling in and do recessed lighting? Do you need to spray your cabinets all white because the cabinets are so dark? You understand? Find out where does your house face? Is it light? Is it dark? Is it light? You understand what I'm saying? So functionality, how your room functions, how your space functions is number 1 in interior design. And then once you know where you're coming from, you know exactly where you can go because you have that roadmap.
That's amazing. And my final tip I wanted to give everyone is on repatriation. So we ask everyone at the end to give 3 tips for if you've been away from home for a long time and you chose to go back, what are 3 tips that people should consider?
Consider not coming here and flossing. Right? Yes, the current climate of people who are not so nice and who, I don't want to say crime, but I'm going to say it. Crime is a real thing. It is a real thing. It's a real thing everywhere in the world. So not because, and don't be fooled that Jamaica is so beautiful and we do have the best beaches in the entire world. We do. Don't be so wrapped up in the romanticism of that you feel that everybody is as beautiful as the beach or as beautiful as the countryside as you drive out, on the old road and not the highway. Don't be fooled by that. 1 minute of being insecure, leaving your car doors open because everybody say, walk, go on, whatever the case is, that those same people are going to come back and give you a big, big nightmare. So always, 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 always have your wits about you. You understand what I'm saying? Don't don't be fooled by people who rally around you when you just come, because they're awesome, right? Do not come down here and don't pay your rent and your light bill and so on, and then go to every party and everything and so on, just to show off. Show off bring disgrace, right? If you are setting up a business in Jamaica, please, I am begging you, learn the laws, learn how to set up a business, learn the ins and outs of it, learn the culture, and learn the workmen, the people who are going to work for you. They are the ones that are going to make your business work or not. You understand? And lastly, do not bring your American mentality here and think that, okay, this is not in Jamaica, everything is here. Mm-hmm. Never, ever, ever think that, oh, this is not in Jamaica, this is not. You don't know, because you are full of your ego and pride, and you think that this country will do so much better because you are here. No, everything is here. And if it is not here, we can order it and it can come in a matter of days.
It's here.
Yeah.
But yes, if it's not,
just
it's
in case.
on the way already.
It's on the way. Just remember that Jamaicans are the most ambitious people on the planet, and we are the red that in the egg. We are the seasoning in everything. You understand what I'm saying? So we take it upon ourselves right now. Any trend that comes out, we know already. Usually there was like a little lag period. We know we're up on everything. So please, I'm begging you, people, if you're coming back to Jamaica and you're thinking, oh, there are no coffee shops in Jamaica, we have every coffee shop. Oh, I have an idea and there's not a in Jamaica. You haven't done your research. And it is it's a pet peeve of mine when I hear people who want to come back and say, oh, that's not in Jamaica, because you don't know.
Right. Or literally you didn't even stop to do the research. It's on Google. It's on Google.
You did everything.
I will tell you. I think
everything.
It doesn't bother me. I get what you mean, though. It's just showing that, like you said, like they think like they're gonna be and there's nothing wrong with that confidence, but just look first, like, because I'm pretty sure it's there.
It's there. Everything is here.
Yeah.
Everything is here. Or we have, let's say, 7 degrees of separation. In Jamaica is like 4 or 3. 2? Okay, you're going to know somebody who knows somebody who know it, or who has it and has the thing that you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, I'd say it's probably 3 or 4 for the average, but but when you get to certain
levels
it's 2 for sure.
And especially if you're just coming to Jamaica to do business and things, don't trust everybody, because everybody going to say, me can't do this, man, and me can't do this, and you're going to get yourself in some serious problems,
especially with craftsmanship, workmen. Oh.
We gotta go.
I mean, we do, but you're so. It needs to be said, but you just gave us all the things that are like reality, and it's just like you just said them. They need to be said.
They need to be said. They need
I
to be said.
appreciate
I'm
it.
not sugarcoated.
You're right. Is there anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, I don't have anything else to say then. Listen, if you've been keeping up, if you haven't watched all 12 of our episodes this season, please go back and watch them. And if you even go back and watch season 1, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Repat Stories.
Yay!